All right, let's talk White Lotus.
Yes.
The way I did my notes was like couple by couple.
Person, like family by family.
Family by
almost.
family. Yeah. Okay, can we start with Jacqueline, Kate, and Lori?
Please, my faves.
So they have their final dinner. We don't really get much of them in the last episode. We have their final dinner where Kate thanks Jacqueline for paying for the trip. And basically it's like, life is great. Everything's in bloom. And Jacqueline's like, oh, yes, I've been in the best mood all week, and thanks them for coming on the trip. And then Lori kind of hits them with some honesty and is like, to be honest, I've been like really sad all week long, and kind of has this whole little monologue about how as you get older, you kind of just like really look at your choices in the face.
Yeah.
And being on this trip with them, it's been so transparent to her, a lot of the mistakes that she's made in her life decisions. She talks about not having a belief system and how that's really, she's been struggling through that. She's tried to worship her job. She's made her partner her whole religion. She's thought motherhood would save her, and she's come to realize that time is the only thing that's giving her life meaning, and how her friends, they give her meaning. And then she thanks Jacqueline for her beautiful face. And or not, she says, I'm glad you have a beautiful face.
You have a beautiful face.
And to Kate, I'm glad you have a beautiful life. And I'm just happy to be at the table.
Yep.
And then they kind of say, I love you to each other. We see them the rest of the episode kind of just like chatting and drinking and talking and looking all lovey-dovey on the couches.
Yeah.
What do you think of her monologue?
I thought it was so true. And I'm so glad that Mike White had the forethought to bring this up. Because I say this all the time in other words. And people are sometimes shocked by it. But it's something that I learned from my previous therapist, Dr. Jackie. When you become an adult, everything's your fault.
Yeah.
Every choice you make, it is all
it's on you, girl. Yep.
And that is the most terrifying part of being an adult. And sometimes when you're around people who you've known for a long time, they don't let you live in the kind of new person that those choices have made. They try to drag you back to be the old person who you once were. And I think that's what she was saying. And that's part of what she was saying and part of what she was feeling. And that's something that I haven't seen a whole lot of women share on television. And I'm really glad she fucking said something, because I have been feeling like this for a long time. And sometimes, or most of the time, we see it with family. I think we see it with Piper and her mom. Piper Radcliffe and her mom.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it is with friends too, and there can be some toxicity there. And she really turned it around at the very end and was like, no, you know what? Actually, I'm just happy to be here and glad that you guys made these great choices. And I'm able to witness how great your choices were.
Right.
Like,
and just be a friend to you all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm honored in that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Lori was probably my favorite character of the show this season.
Okay.
I thought she was the most grounded. She was like the truth seer of her group. I think she honestly really yearned for more honesty and more like depth between the three of them.
Yeah, she pushed,
but she also didn't push too much because she didn't want to rattle the table too much. You could feel within her, she wanted them to get there. And she was really yearning for that in her life. I wish we almost knew a little bit more. Like, we kind of are insinuated, or it's insinuated to us that she's miserable or she like hates her job.
Yeah. And her baby daddy situation seems crazy too.
Yeah.
Divorce or something.
Her ex, her kid, like, there's a lot there. So I found her the most like relatable, and her like yearning for like depth and more in the way that like I as an audience kind of wanted depth and more from this group. I thought her conversation about religion was interesting and like not having a belief system. I feel like they're, you and I, we don't talk about religion a ton on the podcast, but like we're both spiritual. We both believe in God. We were raised Christian. We have our own personal relationship to God. Prayer. We pray before every podcast. I don't know if we've ever shared that with you guys, but every episode we pray, we give thanks. And my faith is, for me personally, what I fall back on when life gets tough, right? When I'm trying to trudge through, I have something bigger than me to fall on. And I feel tremendously for people like Lori.
Yes.
Who don't have a belief system.
Right.
And are yearning for something to fall back on because life is tough.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like Lori. We have friends of ours, people in our life who are like Lori. Yeah. And, you know, I think what she was kind of saying in her monologue where she's like, I had my job, I had my motherhood, I had everything. Like, they end up assigning meaning and purpose to things and work and
and temporary stuff.
Temporary stuff or motherhood. That's a huge thing, but they kind of expect it's going to save them in some way. And when it doesn't, they're like lost again. And it was interesting hearing that person have this like very, you know, ultimate honest reflection on how her job, her motherhood, her being a wife, none of it has given her meaning. And she's still sitting here purposeless, lost. And I just had a lot of empathy for her and just for people like her in this kind of reflective moment that she had.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting.
Oh yeah, that was, especially in such a spiritual place.
Yeah. Because how do you go? It's hard to go to a place like Thailand and not be in your spiritual bag for a second.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
That's the whole point of this whole resort.
Yeah. Literally. It's a wellness retreat resort. Yeah. So it was cool to see in this dynamic where there's so much like fakery and phoniness with this group, her like kind of just get to this moment of like, I need to reflect and I need to say these things out loud and be honest with myself and also honest with you all. I think where I was a little frustrated in this conversation, and again, we just don't have enough time.
Yeah.
I wanted more honesty out of Kate and Jacqueline.
You don't think they gave us honesty?
I still feel like it was they were still kind of posturing at the end. Kate's like, everything is in bloom. Life is so great.
That's because she's a fake-ass Trump voting bitch.
She's a fake-ass Trump voting bitch. Jacqueline's like, oh, it's just been the best week ever. You fully fucked someone and you just got married. Like,
because she's a narcissistic, crazy actress, Hollywood actress. That's all she's got. That's the thing. I took them to what they got.
What they got?
That's all she's got. That's all they got. That's it.
I wanted them to I wanted more. I wanted Jacqueline I wanted us to hash out why the fuck Jacqueline is fucking somebody on vacation and she just got married. Like, why?
You want her to say it out loud?
For it to be, I mean, her and Lori kind of go there a little bit. Like, there's the obvious, like, you fucked Valentin. Like, that was made obvious.
Right.
But we don't bring it back to the fact that, like, you're married. You're married and you did that. And then you want all of us to like lie on it. We're never talking about it. Like, what's going on with you, girl? Why are you fucking some dude on vacation? Like, I just really wish we could have got to that moment. Lori even, I mean, we got it a little bit. Like, I wanted her to be really honest about her being miserable as fuck in her life, which we kind of got in the end. But it seems like she's really going through it. Like, she fucking hates her life, her kid, her job, her like. And so,
I'm sorry.
Something
came to me. Lori was supposed to have a whole segment about having a non-binary child. They cut it when Trump got inaugurated in.
Really?
Yes, because Mike White said there's not enough time. This is a very nuanced thing. And clearly this audience is not ready for what, like, we can't do this in 2 minutes. This is an episode.
No, because it really would be 2 minutes. They don't have time. They have all these other characters to get to. Yeah, I really loved this little trio of characters.
Yeah.
I loved watching them. They were probably my favorite storyline that I was like locked into. When they were back on screen, I was like, ooh, what they got?
Yep.
You know, and we got little nuggets, like the Trump conversation was like really interesting.
So good.
You know, Jacqueline fucking Valentin, and then Lori being like, you always do this. Good. You've been doing this since you're 15.
So
like,
good. And the husband not answering, and then her just being like, fuck it. I'll just fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, everything. Yeah.
Everything. All their decisions and how they posture in front of each other.
Oh, yes. The gossiping sessions at night.
Gossiping, when they break off into twos, like the interesting dynamics. Like, I wanted so much more, but they were just a casualty of this an hour-long show, and there's like 4 other storylines to get to. So what are we gonna do? And then I said it before, just like my own reflection, like reflecting on the characters in like real life. Like, I can't imagine being in a friend group like this. At my age right now, better get in my 40s with kids.
Right. And taking time away from all that life.
Yes. Taking time away from my kids to go on vacation with these fake ass bitches. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, you know, I want to go on vacation. I want to exhale, and I want to be with my people, and I want to be like, girl, what's going on with you? Oh, yes. Your husband. What, girl? Let me tell you about this job is killing me. Like, I want to do that, particularly at that age. I mean, getting time to yourself when you're a mother in your 40s and 50s, like, it's like it's such a reward. It's such a treat. It's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Like,
yeah.
So, and I feel that even now in my 30s, and I don't have any kids.
Bitch, I can't wait for 3 days in my own bed.
I'm
going on vacation with my family this week, y'all.
Yes.
I can't believe I have my own room.
And you can starfish on the bed. Ain't no nigga to your left. You ain't got to cook nothing for nobody.
I don't have to cook nothing for nobody. The last time I did that was last January when we went to San Francisco.
No. Oh my God, yeah.
That was the last time that I haven't shared a room with someone.
By yourself,
And I don't have any kids. I can't even imagine. Yeah.
And so to go on vacation and still have to perform in ways, and like, I can't exhale, and I'm still like gossiping and wondering,
afraid of the judgment, right? And afraid of what they're gonna say about you when you leave the table.
When you leave the room. Crazy. That's crazy. So that was it. I just felt, if anything, like grateful for the friendships that I've like nurtured in my life, and I've like moved past the stage of like holding on to people for longevity's sake. Like, I feel very confident that all of the friends in my life are here with purpose. And there's levels of depth to all of them. I have some friends who know my whole asshole, and then I have some friends who they're more than going out friends. Right. But they don't know everything about me, you know?
Yeah.
But them just holding on because they've been friends since high school, and there's like really not much there at all. Like, I'm so happy that I've nurtured the relationships and the people. I've been very selective, and I have a great curated group of people around me now. And that's by design, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else?
No, they're just the faves. I just wish we could have more. And I want this to be this three friends thing. I want to be studied all races, interracial friendships. Like, I want it so bad. I want it so bad, Mike. This is why you need to put more writers on. Yeah. The same way that like Quinta Brunson like puts on comedy writers for Abbott Elementary. Like, you need to put these writers on, because we need more of this.
Yeah.
This was such an important study in women and women's friendships. It was so dope.
It was. Yeah.
As much as like women gossiping has like saved lives, right? Like it's like
literally, yes,
it's such an important thing for us to gossip. I am never shocked about what someone says, what a friend says about me behind my back. Never, negative or positive. I can totally believe everything that they say, and I probably know it about myself. These ladies, it's a whole different situation. Oh my God. And that just goes so deep, and yet they are so shallow. It was it was so fabulous. And so just Michael, if you're listening, please put on other writers to do more of this, as I want to see more of this.
Yeah, it was very well done, but we couldn't get enough. But I'm glad that he did showcase this type of friendship, and we got to at least like skim the surface a little bit about like sisterhood and friendship among women in their 40s, and what does it look like, and just wanted more. I think that's really it. Just wanted a little bit more. Okay, Belinda and Greg.
Sure. Yeah, nothing really.
Yeah, so Greg offers her $100,000, which is insulting.
Literally like one of the art pieces at his house, or like a glass that the whiskey's in. Like,
right. Please. One of his 10 cars is probably $100,000.
Right.
Like, he offers her $100,000. Her son Zion successfully convinces Greg to give her $5 million.
I know that's right.
I said, I could do I'll shut the fuck up for $5 million.
Yeah, but you blatantly murdering your wife.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we end the season or end the episode with Belinda and Zion kind of like sailing off into the sunset. They got their blood money in the account already wired. And she's like waving goodbye to Poor and Shy on the way out. Again, I wanted more. I wanted more for Belinda
too. Because she said so much when she said, "Let me just be rich for a second."
Yes.
That said a lot. Right? Because she was like, fine. She's working for these people. She's worked for these people for years.
Yeah.
She's been massaging their toes for years. And finally now she's one of them.
Yes.
I wanted more in depth of like, I almost, like when I went back, I looked at the amount of the 5 million. I was like, oh, well, you had 102 in there.
No, she had 12,000 in there.
Oh, 12,000. You had 12,000
like
in
5
there.
5,012,000, I think.
That's something. Right, that's not nothing.
But this is life-changing what just happened.
Yeah, but I want to know more about like, were you saving for your spa before? Were you like, you know what I mean? Just more about her like hopes and dreams because she gave them up so quick to be a part of these people who she's seen so many flaws in.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I just, I wanted to know more about that.
Yeah, journey. Like another little scene of her talking with Poor and Shy or with her son, just more in depth about, damn, like, yeah, life has changed now and this is crazy. Like these people, I've been watching them my whole life and working for them and now I'm one of them. And like, just giving a little bit more into that inner world, that inner voice of what's going in her head now that she's an overnight millionaire. Yeah. But also has to like sell her soul to become that at the same time.
Yes. Does she feel like it was worth it? Does she feel like, all those other people sold their souls, so like it's fine.
Right. How is she reconciling this? Yeah. Even that. How is Belinda reconciling this for herself? Because she seems to be so principled and like moral and, you know, she finds out he killed, or in her head, he killed Tanya. The first thing she does is go to talk to Fabian, is like, we should call the cops. Like she wants to do the right thing. She's a rule follower. So how is she reconciling this now? Similarly, I just wanted more for Belinda, this character. I feel like she had this little rendezvous with Poor and Shy that like was cute, but like what was the point? We kind of have them fantasizing about doing a spa together, and then in the end she ditches him in the same way that Tanya ditched her.
Right.
So she literally became them. Like
exactly.
I even wondered like what it, like her son, he was cute, I loved him, but he was also kind of useless. Like he didn't really they definitely didn't have any time to afford him any depth whatsoever, so he was really there just to like help make this deal come about. But I almost wondered if it would be more interesting if the son wasn't there and it was Poor and Shy. Like she went to porn. Like if she didn't talk to Fabian about this guy killed somebody, which is called the cops, and she confided in Poor and Shy. Poor and Shy, who's her peer, right? Who also has dreams of doing a spa, right? Who also is massaging these people's toes, right? If together they were like, and it could have been even comical, like the two of them masterminding how to get $5 million out of him, you know? Because the son just kind of came in like, I have an MBA, this is how we're doing it.
Yes, very explanatory, which I cannot stand.
When they're telling you instead of like showing you something interesting. Yeah. But imagine her and Poor and Shy, like these two kind of like half-wits, like trying to like mastermind how to get more money out of him. And I think it would have been cool to see like a victory for the like lowly staff.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we never see them really win on White Lotus.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. The staff never wins. I'm sorry. No. I thought about the two girls last season.
Yeah. Like we see the two girls for sure. Yeah. We see with the staff though, like he always includes some subplot with the staff.
Yes.
But there's such a subplot. Like they're so pushed to the side.
And they're always underneath these other people.
Always
below.
Yeah. So, just again, if you have other writers in the room, like you have other ideas floating about, that sounds good. Let's do that one instead. Yeah. But Mike White has his vision and let's bring in the sun. The sun will help save the day. Like, what? Why? We didn't need another character. We really didn't.
I know. There's not enough already.
It's enough. Use who you got already. The only person she ever talks to really on the show outside of Greg is Porn Chai. Mm-hmm. Let's do something with Porn Chai.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we didn't do something with him. But yeah, I think Belinda, she just an interesting conversation around like, what's your price? Everyone has a price. What's your price to buy your silence? Mm-hmm. Could you put your morality aside for some coins?
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody has a price.
Everybody does, yes. And she didn't even go for her price. She went with her son's.
Her son's price, yeah. So what would have been your price?
Oh,
what would you go for?
And Belinda did no research on this man or Tanya. So thank God her son was there to tell her it was
thank God.
$500 million.
Right.
If I'm sitting in that guy's house, I would say 10.
Right. Just I got a house.
Yeah. I got to be in, what is that, 8 figures? I got to be in the 8 figures for that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For me to know that lady, I'm 99% sure you had her killed. Mm-hmm. And then you also are like finding me out, but you don't know. Like I also would have played it like you have to be scared of me because I'm so morally.
Yes,
you are so morally bankrupt, and I am so morally higher than you. Right, that I will go to the police and say this for free, unless you give me $10 million.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely going for millions. Just that house alone was crazy. It looked like a resort. The house itself looked like a resort.
He had a waterfall in his house going into the pool.
Yeah.
Like, are you nuts? What?
$100,000.
Yeah. It's Chloe, right? The girlfriend's name?
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Chloe was wearing all like drippy girl. Yes. That wardrobe was crazy. Jacquemus down. Like, what?
I don't know. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
Guy Talk and Mook, wrap them up real quick.
Yeah, real quick. First of all, they are my favorite out of like off-camera interviews. Those two actors.
Oh my God, Guy Talk is singing. You saw the video of him singing?
He's fine, first of all.
And he fine too.
That little haircut and the accent, that does something.
Yeah. It is crazy. Out of character. Like him as himself is so much more edgy and sexy than Guy Talk, this like nerdy little security guard
over and a little like, I'm just Buddhist, I don't know if I can kill anybody. Yeah. Oh my God. So out of character, those two actors, especially, oh my God, he talks about when they first met.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And he's East Asian, so he is fully aware of Lisa.
Okay.
And knows that she is the Katy Perry, the Lady Gaga of South Korea, right?
Yeah, okay.
I would maybe say the continent of Asia, right?
Continent, Jesus.
I would, dare I say. And just knowing how like famous she was and then meeting her. And he talked about how she was in a Louis Vuitton outfit. She was in an all white outfit. And she was so nice to me. He just speaks with her with so much admiration. And she is with an old nasty man right now.
Is she?
Oh girl, he old nasty. I think he is like a funky beliefs, funky weird things because he's old, white and nasty.
Oh, he's the CEO of LVMH watches.
Yeah. See?
Interesting.
So obviously he's the horrific. So, like,
don't Google him, y'all. Damn, Lisa, really?
Lisa, really.
Oof,
but
okay.
How else do you get hired to be on the White Lotus? So anyways, and you're a singer, and a dancer.
Wow.
But so I hope they had a little rendezvous off camera. They're my favorite off camera zhuzh.
Yeah. To think about. Okay. Yeah, he's Thai as well. I just realized Thai and Thai heritage, but British. Born in the UK.
Yeah. Accent.
I got to hear him speak. I only saw him singing.
You haven't heard him talk?
No, I just saw the little singing clip and I was like, oh, cool, cute.
Yeah, you heard him sing No Diggity?
Yes, No Diggity. That little clip. I know. I was like, okay, Guy Talk.
Oh my God. See that. All the comments are like, and who's watching the gate? And now the gun is stolen. And I'm so bad. You so bad.
That is funny. Oh my God. So yeah, Guy Talk and Mook. I mean, a very one-dimensional subplot.
Did you think? I think they tried. I think so. They tried to make it 3D with him specifically.
They tried.
Yeah.
I think Guy Talk first of all, in the end, he goes out like a punk ass bitch.
Sure does. Sure does.
He pushes his devout Buddhist principles aside and shoots a man in the motherfucking back. Like, we were screaming like, what? How they do guy talk like that?
I didn't even think about he wasn't even facing him.
No, he shot that nigga in the back. Like, that's so whack. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Because of yet another woman telling them
leading
that
him
he's not
astray.
man enough. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we see him, he shoots Rick in the back, he gets rewarded. Later we see he gets a promotion, he gets the girl. Mm-hmm. And I just think that having him shoot Rick in the back was just so nuts to me for this character. He was the most like morally high person. He always talked about Buddha and what the Buddha would do, and this is what Buddha said. And then we see him get pressured into murdering someone, and then murdering someone in the most coward way possible.
Yeah. Without even like confirming that was who killed the head of the hotel.
Nope. It was just Shritala in hysterics, shoot him,
yeah.
and he just shoots. Yeah. And I just wish this like morally high person, if we're going to lean him into going against everything that he stands for, we give him a little bit of honor in it. Like,
oh my God. Yes, that's the other story that didn't get wrapped up. The Russians and the burglary.
Oh, that too.
That never got wrapped up.
Never got wrapped up whatsoever. Also, I feel like they just did guy talk so dirty, honestly, this character. So he finally solves the robbery, as you said. Mm-hmm. He decides not to tell anybody about it. And preserves these 3 white men.
Yeah.
And their sanctity, them in this country that they are leeching off of and thieving their way around.
Yeah.
And he does nothing about it. And he's the only person who knows. And then he not even confronts Valentin, but he makes it so obvious to Valentin that he knows. Mm-hmm. Why would he expose himself like that to Valentin?
Right. To a dangerous person like Valentin. Yeah.
To a dangerous person like Valentin. Like, they just made guy talk so simple and just like dumb. Like, he's the world's worst security guard. Nothing is secure when he is securing it. No. Even to the end, he finds out who the robber is and he goes to the robber's friend.
Yeah. And it's like, what their names again?
What are their names? Like, what? And then, like, why? What was the point of letting them get away with it, I guess? Like, this whole thing is Guy Fawkes is trying to save the day. How does he look like the manliest man among all the security guards here? And he could have shot Rick in the back and then also reported Valentin and been, like, the hero and really gotten the girl and gotten the whole thing. Like, I didn't understand him letting Valentin get away with it.
Yeah, that really made me mad. I understand him shooting Rick in the back and also holding hands with Belinda taking the money.
Okay.
2 of the people with the who had the highest moral ground are selling the fuck out.
Yeah.
For a taste of what they've witnessed as staff for so long. And that what Mike White is trying to say is that everybody has a price and everybody will do anything for just even a taste of this like level of wealth, despite all the turmoil that you see all the time. Yeah. That it must be worth it. You know?
Yeah. Guy Talk was just so sorry about that.
I know.
Oh my God. We couldn't give him an ounce of honor or integrity or respect or anything. Like, I know. And then Mook, she was just a horrible character.
She was his inner saboteur.
Inner saboteur through and through. She literally only existed to challenge his sense of faith and belief in himself. Yeah. To be a good person. She was literally the devil on his shoulder, like constantly. And she only showed interest in him when he was doing the wrong thing, the bad thing, the dark thing, the dangerous thing. And that was just a weird choice for this. I don't know. This character is just like so one-dimensional for me. Like she's dumb hype when he got the gun. She was dumb hype when he was like maybe going to get promoted to being like a dangerous bodyguard. You know, when he was maybe going to get more money, when he was going to become like a bad boy in some way. Like that's when she's like so hype and so into him. She really only existed to make him feel bad about himself. And aside from that, she had no other dimension to her.
No. And it was a little, for me, too stereotypical of women in Asia looking to leave Asia.
By any means necessary.
I didn't love watching that on television yet again. We got that already with 90 Day Fiancé.
Yes.
In droves.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't appreciate her character at all.
No.
He didn't do anything.
Gowns, beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns, I guess.
Yep.
She's so gorgeous to look at, but like she's not doing a damn thing. And I just feel like season 1, season 2 did a little bit better by the hotel staff than season 3.
Yeah.
We could have done something with Guy Talk and Mook, and we really just left these characters just with, you have no empathy for them, but then you feel nothing. Should we get into the Ratcliffes?
Yes.
I don't understand Mike White's decision to repeatedly tease murder, suicide, like with this family. There was 1 too many fake outs.
There was 8 too many fake outs, girl. I was so mad by the end when he didn't kill them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All the way into the end. We have Tim making pina coladas for everybody with the poisonous seed ground up into it. And I wanted them to drink it and to die.
For sure. All fall out, and then the lady, Miss Thing with the braid.
With the coming in.
She comes in and finds all of them dead.
All of them dead. Yes. I wanted it so bad. And it was yet another murder fantasy that didn't come to fruition. And it was like the 8th one for the season.
Yes.
And it was predictable. Like you knew as they were drinking it that they weren't going to die.
They weren't going to die. Yep.
So that was just an odd choice to like play the same note with this family and with Tim and this murder suicide like so many times.
Yes. And Tim and these meds.
Tim. Oh God.
I wanted Victoria to somehow find him popping the meds at some point.
Yes.
Or someone find him popping the meds.
Yeah. That was also very frustrating for me. Like, this character was lorazepammed out the entire time.
The whole time. Yeah. Fine.
We saw we saw episode 1 and maybe episode 2.
Yeah.
What he was really like, how he really spoke, who he really was, like. And for the next 5 episodes, he was very obviously not himself. And no one calls it out.
No one cared.
And it just
felt his son a little bit was like, Dad, you're acting weird.
A little bit.
And he was like, no, I'm not, son. And then that was it. Like, what?
That was it. Like, it just felt so unrealistic. Like, this guy's in a drunken, hazy stupor for an entire vacation. And I guess what Mike White was trying to point out is like everyone in this family is so narcissistic.
Yeah.
That they don't even see him not being himself. But to me, it was asking me to suspend too much belief, and I couldn't. I was like, this guy is very obviously on dope, like Quaaludes of some sort. Yeah, and we're gonna just act like nobody notices that.
And mom's meds are missing. No one put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, it was just asking me to suspend way too much disbelief, and it was getting really annoying by the end. So yeah, another thing. So they obviously don't drink the fucking pina coladas. And I think a part that pissed me off the most in this finale, Tim goes to bed and leaves the blender dirty, full of poisonous seeds. Lest we forget, his sons are making protein shakes every morning with that blender. Never thought to cross his mind to wash it out.
No, he's too narcissistic, and he's lorazepammed out.
I couldn't. That I was so pissed.
Just like the son was nasty enough to make his protein shake in a dirty ass blender.
But it's dirty with pina colada. It's not like dirty with like mud.
Still though, you can rinse it out real quick. Come on now.
I can believe
that. You to college.
But I can believe that more from this stupid 16-year-old, right? Who's just, they're disgusting. Then this grown-ass father who was about to murder-suicide the whole family with this poisonous seed, and he just went to bed and left the blender there, knowing his sons use this blender every fucking day. Again, you're asking me to suspend my belief way too much. Like, now, Lachlan innocently drinks his little protein shake, dies, and then comes back to life.
Why did he come back to life?
Another fake out. Why? Why is Mike doing this? Another fake out.
There was yet another one.
Yet another one.
Family. Is that, though, symbolism, though, that people who have amassed this level of wealth and who will do anything for capitalism do get chance after chance after chance in a way they don't deserve?
Yeah.
Right? That's how Mike White is seeing the elite wealthy in America. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. A second chance. Yeah.
They always, forever, will have a second chance.
And I guess he was also trying to do something with Tim. His son could have just died there, but his son died and came back to life. And him having to face that, live with that. His son he's never going to tell his son why he almost died.
Yeah.
He'll have to live with that. So it's like another punishment for him in a way. You know, that maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I thought with Lachlan dying, coming back to life, I thought what was interesting is, as I just said, he'll never know what that experience was. Like, he'll never understand why he literally saw God and then came back. Like, why did that happen to him? And I'm sure you have to be led to believe that this will color his life. This will shape him, transform him in some way, shape, or form. And he, I think Lachlan is the most unlike the rest of his family. Yeah, Piper wants to be that. Piper wants to be the rebel of the family, but it's really Lachlan. He is the most unlike everybody. And he's the only person who attests to Tim that he could live without money.
That I didn't even believe, though.
You didn't?
Because he's such a people pleaser.
Yeah.
How the dad phrased it, you could live without money, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't believe him.
Wait, that's true.
I don't think so.
That's a good point. Yeah. Lachlan, we get this conversation with him and Saxon. Finally, very uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, the incest I thought was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I just thought it was unnecessary. It was just shocking to be shocking.
It was shocking to be shocking.
I did not. No. Like, we didn't get a real for real sex scene with Belinda and Pornchai, but we got gay incest. You know what I'm saying? Can we not?
Why?
Or like,
why
can we
need it?
Actually, really, can we have a Natasha Rothwell, like, over 40 woman with caftans, an Asian man fucking on camera? Or no, we just have to watch gay incest with a Schwarzenegger? Okay.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. I don't know why it was necessary. It did feel very much like shock value for the sake of shock value. But I guess what he was trying to do, which we get in this like final, not final, but this like this moment finally between Saxon and Lachlan, where Saxon explains that he's a pleaser. And he, you know, saw Saxon over there, feeling left lonely, and he wanted, you know, all you talk about is getting off, and I just wanted you to feel included. And he kind of trails off, and he says, like, you know, I'm in a family full of narcissists, and then he kind of, Saxon like interrupts him, and I think that was kind of to show like Saxon or Lachlan is like probably the most self-aware in the family, but because he's the youngest and the baby, he is the most needing of guidance.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to guide himself by doing what will make everyone happy.
Yeah.
And that's his way of trying to navigate an incredibly self-absorbed family.
Yeah. And they don't take him seriously at all. He was literally dying and they were like, okay, just meet us later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally like convulsing in the corner. And they were like, oh, you're busy? All right, just meet us there. It's breakfast, okay? Like,
yeah. So I guess the incest was like, it was showing people pleasing to a fault, right?
Right. Yes.
He has no guidance. All he knows is I need to make everybody around me happy.
Yeah.
that's what my family wants the most. They're all starved for attention and whatever. Like, I just need to like not rattle anyone's feathers and just kind of give them whatever they need.
Yeah.
And so doing that to the extreme is literally jacking your brother off. Right? Is that what Mike White was trying to say?
I guess so. This is a really terrible time to ask this question. You're not in a family of narcissists. As the youngest child, have you ever felt like this?
No, get out of here.
No, not felt like this. Not like this. But this just was marinating on me with this character.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because I am so the older one. I live in that experience so deeply. Like, as the youngest one, do you ever feel like, oh, I just have to please everybody? I just have to make everybody, oh, I can't, like, whatever.
I've never thought of myself as a people pleaser. I've never,
yeah.
Even being a youngest and being the little voice and like getting people to listen to you or whatever.
Yeah.
I've always felt strongly about my convictions and not needing to do things to please others. So yeah, I don't identify with being like that younger kid, you know, being the youngest in the family, needing to please everybody. Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do, so I don't think I'm a people pleaser, but like I've talked about this topic of people pleasing with people in my life who think of themselves as people pleasers. And there is a dark side to people pleasing and a really sad side to people pleasing. And the fact that it leaves you with little to no self-trust.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is kind of what we see with Lachlan. Lachlan is so lost. It leaves you with you're so accustomed to doing what everyone around you wants you to do. Even if it's subconsciously, they're not telling you do this thing. You just think, okay, this will make it easier. Let me just do what they want me to do or what I think they want me to do.
Right.
That when you finally sit to examine what you want, you not only have no idea what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
You also don't trust any decision you make because it wasn't explicitly guided by somebody else.
Right.
So even the decision you end up ultimately make, you don't trust it at all.
Yeah.
Because you only trust other people.
Oh, man. Because you live for other people's like approval and whatever. Yeah.
Constantly. Yeah.
Whew.
So I feel like with Lachlan, that's what we're watching is like him taking it to the extreme.
Yes. He is also, I think he's the character who reads the most books. He's always reading. And it's always a different book. Put down below in the comments and Patreon and Spotify if we have a list of those books so far.
Oh, what he's reading.
Yep. One of them was about like old time 1800s book about being in a family of narcissists and being the only one. But I didn't catch the last book that he was reading because you can see the title like pretty clearly, but I didn't look it up, and I really want to know what that last book was that he decided to marinate on after he jacked off his brother.
Just wild. Yeah, it's nuts. So yeah, but Lachlan tells Piper he wants to stay at the monastery. He loved not loved being there, but I think he thinks that's what he wants Piper to do. So again, he's like trying to people please in some way.
He thinks that Piper wants him there.
Maybe. Oh, okay. Because Piper's always looking to him as a safety blanket.
Yes. Yeah.
So she looks uncomfortable here and he's like, oh, I'll do it with you. I want to do it. Trying to, convince himself and her that this is what he wants. But really, he's just doing it to try to please him.
Yeah.
Please her.
Yeah. And convince her that it's the best idea. Because that's what he was there for. The mom said, go with her so that she doesn't go. Yeah.
And then when Piper's like, I don't want to be responsible for your... Let me fuck up my own life. I don't want to be responsible for
girl,
you also fucking up your life.
She wasn't checking for that monastery neither.
Sure wasn't. She's so full of shit.
She's so full of shit.
So full of shit.
She is so typical. She's that typical American tourist who's like, I just want to change my life. I just want to do me. I just want to be rebellious. I don't want to go back and wear Vera Bradley. And then she gets there and there ain't no air conditioning. And she said, oh, no.
Can't do it.
These sheets are not linen. Oh, no.
She was such a spoiled little rich girl who doesn't want to face the real world. She doesn't want to get a job. Yeah. She just wants to make believe that she's so anti-establishment, anti-Western values. And, oh, my God, I've been reading these books on meditation and it's speaking to me and I am Buddhist. And then she lives one day modestly, and she's like, I cannot do this.
Yeah. And then very like, let them eat cake. Very Marie Antoinette. I can't believe there's people who have it so much harder than me.
The self-pitying, like this whole monologue about woe is me, but trying to be like, but what was them too? Like,
girl,
please.
I'm so glad she didn't choose poverty. Ooh.
And there's nothing worse than what she's trying to do with like masquerading as a do-gooder and like choosing poverty for the sake of really just being self-righteous.
Yes.
And feeding your own selfish desire.
Yes.
To prove
that you could do it.
That you can do it.
Yeah. Oh my God. I've worked with so many people just like this. Their whole personality is like going to Peru and doing that drug that I always call ashwagandha, but it's not ashwagandha.
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca. They did ayahuasca for 3 days, and now it is their whole personality. Oh my God. I worked with a guy who shaved his head after he lived in India for a month. What guy?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like he just like it's like his whole personality. Please. He was head of sales. Please. You were shooting basketballs and talking to me at the same time. Get a life.
God.
Like, please. Oh my God.
Yeah, Piper, it took her no time at all. It took no time for that facade to crack. And it was interesting too when you talk about the fashion, her final outfit.
Yes. Yeah.
It was like her mom down. Like she was like, okay, mom, me and you, bitch. Like we're living this out together. Like, oh my God.
Shopping at the end because she just went through something. So she deserves a little treat. Better.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Meanwhile, they have no money. There's no zero account. There's
$0. Everything is frozen. Like, oh my God. So the one thing I will say I appreciate about Piper's character was because of her exploration into like Buddhism. We did get some like cool little nuggets from the monk.
Oh
character.
Yeah,
they kind of like spliced in.
Yeah.
So I love they open up this episode, the final episode, with him talking about, which I thought was very deep. He was talking about the elusive nature of life itself, how life brings about many questions, but all we really want is a resolution, and how life gets easier when you accept that there is no resolution.
No resolution, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that made me think a lot about the saying, like, let go and let God. Like when you stop trying to figure it out yourself and you just say, you know what, God got it.
Yeah.
That brings you a lot of peace. Yeah. Life gets a lot easier.
That lady, Mel Robbins, is making millions of dollars.
Oh, what's this book now?
Let Them Theory. I have it. I'm going to read it. I have so many preconceived notions about this lady and what she's saying, and I'm trying my very hardest to let them go. 2 Black female therapists told me that it's a good book to read. I'm going to try my hardest, but I am sitting here like this is a book about white female privilege and how you should just let it go because nothing matters. And I'm like, it does, though, girl. It does.
But there's something freeing too.
There is. Like,
what this guy is saying, when you stop just like trying to find the answers and try to put it all on you, when you just let go and say like, this is what it, like, even it is what it is. Like, those sayings are so like, oh my God, easier said than done. But when you actually live into it, it does bring you a lot of peace.
Oh my, have you ever been friends with somebody who embodies this?
What?
Who embodies like, I let it go. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, my brother is very much like this.
Fabulous.
He's listening right now to this. Very, very good at reframing a situation.
Okay. Yeah.
And just, it's out of my control. I'm just going to choose otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm just going to choose to not let it stress me out. I'm just going to choose to go this way.
Yeah.
And he lives a very happy-go-lucky life.
Yes. I worked with a girl named Jackie who was in the embodiment of this in a way that she did not care who was getting in the middle of her and her goals. She was getting to those goals. Who was getting in the way of her and her lifestyle? She was dealing with her lifestyle. We were all like coordinators at this publishing company. She would take 2 hours to go walk her dog at lunch. If her boss was not there, she would kick her feet up at his desk and eat a breakfast sandwich at 10 o'clock in the morning. She never cared about anyone. It was so obvious. I loved being friends with somebody who had no care in the world except for themselves. In that way, right? She was never like a mean person to me ever.
Right.
But she only cared about like her agenda, her life. She knew she was going to marry like a politician type guy. She knew she was going to like she blew through a trust fund that she had. She knew she was going to get that back somehow by marrying some other new guy. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
She knew she had plans. She had plans. She was just at this job because she like got a degree and she had to. But she knew she wasn't going to be working the next 10 years. Work was not a part of the plan.
Wow.
And she was not going to let anything get in the way of that. She dated all kinds of dudes. Dudes who were not her type. Dudes that were like older, like way older than her. She found a nice guy now, settled 2 kids, whatever. But she was just on her path because that was her path and what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
What an icon.
And she sounds like in a way similar to my brother in the sense that like they don't really seemingly experience anxiety.
Not at all. No.
Right? Mm-hmm. They don't fester on much. They don't let things crowd their minds of like, because even when you're in your anxiety, you know, if you step outside of it, you know it's some bullshit. Your mind is making up a lot of bullshit. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they don't experience that. They just don't even entertain it at all.
No.
You know?
No.
And that's a skill. It's beautiful because when you see, they live very freely.
Yeah. The same way like almost anxiety is a skill. It's a defense mechanism. You know, a very similar way on the opposite side. They just don't dwell on shit.
Yeah. Wow. Where's Jackie now? You said she's married?
Oh, yeah. She's married. Oh, yeah. She's a housewife.
2 kids. Yeah. Okay. Living her best life. It's somebody's mansion in somebody's suburbs.
Yep.
Okay. Saxon and his fake spiritualism.
Oh, my God. Him and
Chelsea.
Yeah.
So he reads this one book that Chelsea gave him. He's like, oh, yeah, the sex stuff was great. And then that was it. Chelsea like ran off. Yes. Rick came back. She ran off, and he was like looking longingly, like sadly at them. Then
jealous, envious, definitely jealous. Turned to Chloe and said, "Sorry, I couldn't help you out." Waiting for some kind of validation from her, and she said, "It's okay. I'll find another one." So realized how replaceable he was in that moment too, which I think was sad for him.
Yeah, and I think where he's from, you know, he went to Duke. He's like a big deal. He's like the hotshot big man on campus always.
Do you think? I thought the conversation with his dad meant that he was no longer that person. He used to be that guy in college. Now he's out and he's not that guy.
And that's true. Right? Especially now at this company, he's the new guy. He's entry level probably.
Yeah.
He's also the boss's son. So that's a fucking role that you have to play. And people are talking shit about you constantly. And you have to prove yourself all the time.
Yep. Or not.
Or not too.
Especially he's not. But it's okay.
But he's conscious of it though.
Yes.
I think. He's conscious of it. People knowing that, you know, he got this job because he's the boss's son or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to, here he is on vacation, like chest puffed out. I got an MBA from Duke.
Yeah,
like,
Duke.
Hot shot. Yeah. And then every girl in his wake just keeps like giving it, like curbing him left and right.
Yeah. Even in the threesome, he was not with a girl.
No, that's true. His brother was with the girl. Shit.
I know.
Oh my God. But yeah, I think with that character, I think Mike White kind of just like hammered home that this guy is just, even at the end, he's like, oh yeah, the sex stuff was interesting. Like he's just a sex obsessive frat boy who's like never going to grow up. And he's going to get the shock of his life now when his dad, everything gets torn away from him with his dad and his dad's decisions. And he's really going to hit rock bottom in like no time. And maybe he'll end up falling back on this fucking meditation, or maybe he'll end up falling back on remembering this girl Chelsea and the one thing that too but it's like he's getting this, like, why is he getting introduced to spirituality, right? Like, why did Chelsea give him all these books? He's actually reading them. He read one of them, you know, like it's like he's getting prepared almost for what's about to hit the fan, and all he's gonna have left to fall back on is himself.
Yeah.
And a higher power of some sort,
Right.
So I think, that's really
that's nice of you. Yeah.
Give him some depth, something.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, Tim is on the boat. Everybody gets their phones back. He gives that little speech. Everything's about to change, but we're a family. Nothing's more important than family. We're gonna get through it. And we see, it looks like Saxon is the first to see in his phone and have a look on his face. He looks at Piper. She looks at him. You don't know if it's because she also now knows or she's just looking at her brother. But either way, it's like happening now.
Yeah.
Now we're finally back to the real world, and we just get Tim looking off at the ocean with a smile.
Yeah. And the siblings are in that hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil trio. Yep.
Okay.
Direction.
Yeah.
They started off very clearly. Saxon had the sunglasses on, Piper had her headphones on, and then Lachlan was like reading his book. I want to say, I don't know how they
in the beginning. You mean?
Yeah, in the first boat scene.
episode.
And now Lachlan and Saxon are switched, and Piper is still hear no evil, but she doesn't have her headphones on. So there's a little bit of direction, like a little bit of like symbolism, trying to get there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think Tim's journey inward was definitely the hardest to portray, and I think the most unsuccessful, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The decision to just put him in this like drugged out haze, and we don't really get any real moments or insight into what is actually going on internally with him is bizarre. We're kind of just like, from episode 1, we're locked into this like money scheme, this FBI thing, that whatever he's got going on. And then from there, we're kind of fed nothing. We just kind of see him in inner turmoil, but we don't get any insight into what that inner turmoil is saying to him, or what besides these fantasies of wanting to kill everybody, like over and over and over. Like, I think it was just really hard.
Yeah, we got more from the wife. We got more from Victoria. Is that her name? I want to say that's her name. They keep calling her mom. I can't honey. I can't remember her name.
Her actual name is Victoria. Yeah,
Victoria. Yeah, there was way more from her in that monologue. I'm not built to be without anything. I don't have it. That was way more.
And we kind of see him hear these things and like reflect on it, I guess.
And how he put them all in that situation.
Yeah. But it was tough, this character, just kind of seeing him mosey through episode after episode after episode. Like, I don't know. I wish we could have done something else with him. So yeah, that's the Ratliffs. Last but not least, Rick and Chelsea. So Jim was Rick's father.
Oh, wouldn't you say?
Surprise. Like,
oh my God.
Rick learns this after he shoots him.
He kills him.
After he literally kills him, and then he's the one that kind of spurred off this mass shooting that results in all the bodyguards getting killed, him and Chelsea getting killed. It was weird. We all knew that Jim was his father, so this revelation did not hit at all.
No, because they kind of looked alike.
They were like disheveled.
They both gave the same.
They gave father son, like
disheveled drug addict.
Yes.
Don't take care of yourself. Thin,
moody
man. So why he didn't think already that was his dad, I don't know. Why his dad had to insult his mom like that, I don't know why that was.
I don't know. Yeah.
Why would he do that? Like, what? But I guess they're like stupid in the same way.
I guess.
It would make sense that they basically killed each other.
Yeah. And then also, it was perplexing. Again, I'm suspending my belief. Rick returns to the resort, and was just like casually grabbing breakfast with Chloe as if he didn't assault the owner of said result, and the bodyguards know exactly what he looks like, and they're coming here any minute to like take him away. Like,
yeah, that was very confusing.
It was really good. And it was very akin to like Tim and the Dirty Blender.
Yes.
Tim being doped out. No one's saying anything. Now we have Rick gallivanting around this resort as if like everything's fine. Like they're not going to come and get him. Like I'm not sure why, what Mike White wanted us to say in those moments besides what the fuck, that's so dumb.
Yeah.
You know?
This would never happen.
This would never happen. Yeah. He would have boarded the next flight and gotten out. He's the richest, most powerful guy in Thailand, presumably, and he just went back to the resort and was having donuts with Chelsea. Like, what?
Yeah.
Then in this shootout, Rick very quickly, very successfully kills both bodyguards as if he's like some trained assassin.
Yeah, which was his friend who gave us way more.
Right. And who also didn't give assassins. He gave bumbling idiot. Frank, right? The friend.
Yeah, he gave bumbling idiot at some points, but I guess bumbling idiot because he's like so deep in recovery of so many things that he was addicted to that he didn't even know where to turn, but then also trusted his friend Rick, who didn't set him up for success at all. They're just walking around with guns around this country that they don't be having guns. Like, I don't. Yeah.
And then why did Rick need to employ Frank's services when Rick is very clearly a fucking like 007 operative? Like, the minute I saw him take out both bodyguards, it reminded me. I was like, we don't actually know anything about Rick.
Nope. Yeah.
His past, who he is, who his father was, why is he so upset? What did Jim do? What did his dad do? Why were they killed? Like, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
And it was just so weird. I was like, we were all looking at each other like, damn, he took them out quick. Like,
yeah.
What?
We still don't know how he met Chelsea. Do we know how he met Chelsea?
We don't know nothing about their relationship.
Oh my God. But they're supposed to be together forever and the love of each other's lives because they met each other on the beach and spun around.
This is what I mean. Like, I feel like this whole storyline, Rick and Chelsea, the whole storyline felt so self-important, and it felt like it was, for me, it was Mike White's like favorite characters. Like, you could tell the actor Walton Goggins, who played Rick, was taking this role very seriously, gave a very great performance. He did a great job, I think, playing this like mysterious kind of like scorned man, like with inner demons that he's been plaguing him his whole life. Like, and I just feel like Mike White spent so much time on this storyline and this character in particular, but it's so bizarre because he ends it so anticlimactic with the face-to-face moment with Rick and Jim last episode. And then we also end with this very predictable revelation that Jim is his father.
Yeah.
And then this very bizarre shootout where Rick is like a skilled marksman, and then Guy Talk goes out like a pussy ass bitch. Like,
wait, he's a skilled marksman who did not protect Chelsea at all.
At all.
He was like, "Oh shit, you over there? Get out of here! What are you doing?"
Shot in the heart, on the ground, bleeding out.
Yeah.
Like,
broad as this day, just out.
It's out, unprotected. So just for a character that I feel like was so important to Mike White, how he wrapped it up to me was so just, he is your father. He is your father. He told me. And we're all sitting here like, we know.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. Why
That's
didn't
it.
He know?
Why didn't he know? How was he the last to know? Like, oh my God. No, Chelsea, I have a bone to pick with this character. I'm astonished that in 2025 we're still writing female characters like this.
Why?
Chelsea's sole purpose on screen was to talk about Rick, was to worry about Rick, was to long for Rick. Outside of that, her character maybe provided some comedic relief, but she was not fully fleshed out in her own right at all. She was kind of useless. She didn't hook up with anybody, none of the sons. She didn't have agency to do anything to spur a plot or spur some type of conflict. In literally every scene she's on camera, she's talking about Rick.
Yeah, she's trying to make him look better. I think she was the better half of Rick. Obviously, yeah.
And if she's not doing that, then she's like this spiritual guide of sorts for Saxton. but she says like incredibly shallow spiritual 101 type of things that you don't even trust her.
Yeah.
That she's on this spiritual journey any more than Piper's on a fucking spiritual journey.
Yep.
It's like all lip service. Then Rick doesn't seem to give a flying fuck about Chelsea.
At all.
I don't understand why they're together. We don't know how they met. We don't know what he wants with her, what she wants with him, why she's so in love with him. We just don't understand it. So why am I rooting for this character? Like, or for, because the thing that she wants the most is for Rick to come back, right?
Yes.
Rick comes back. They have this like little moment there, you know, she does the run, jump, hug, and they kind of circle around in the sunlight, whatever. And like, you don't really care.
Yeah.
Because you don't even understand her motivation as to why she's so motivated by this love for Rick.
And even that was to serve part of Saxton's self-importance.
Yes.
Even that run, jump, hug was for another man.
Another character to look on longingly, enviously, you know. So what
help him along, help his story.
And help his, right.
Yeah.
I thought she was like a mind-boggling character for in a season where we have Jacqueline, Kate, and Lori, 3 women, where I feel like we're written really authentically. And then we also have Chelsea, who's just like useless and like a very antiquated portrayal of a woman on screen. It made me think of the podcast we've been on called the Bechdel Cast.
Oh
Great podcast. These 2 women, they watch movies from a feminist lens according to the Bechdel test, which is like this test made up by some psychologist, whatever, where you're examining how women are portrayed on screen and if they serve any purpose besides serving the motivations of men. And they watch these movies, it's funny, and they kind of like rate the movies from like a feminist lens.
And they dissect the hell out of the scripts.
Chelsea, it's not past the Bechdel test at all.
No, 0.
Every scene she's in, she's talking about Rick.
Or just men in general, what their purpose is in her life. Or whatever.
Yeah. So just really weird. Really weird that in the same season we get both. Like the 3 ladies, and then we also get this character Chelsea who's so flat. Let us know in the comments if you have another take on Chelsea that I'm missing, because I don't see it.
I personally loved how Chelsea looked.
Yeah, okay.
I think that was progressive in itself.
Okay.
To have a woman who has lines on her forehead, who has teeth that she hasn't fixed, who has you know, her body is not the same as Chloe's body. Chloe's a Pilates girly. You know what I mean? Like, she's like so toned and so muscular and so like perfect looking for what Greg wants, I'm sure. And I don't think Chelsea's the same way for Rick. I think she looks how she wants to. And I think that in itself is kind of empowering. And the actress has talked about that a lot. Okay. How American people are obsessed with their teeth because they're real. And we're so used to looking at fake teeth. So I think that was great. I really like that choice in casting.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah, but that's it. I really don't. Yeah, you made some points for him.
But that's it. Yeah. What are we to do with Chelsea? Please write in the comments or drop any think pieces you've read about Chelsea. Like, what are we to make of that character? She was so disappointing to me. Just like useless. Okay. One last thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
So Frank, his monologue. I want to get back to that real quick because I've been really thinking about that plus the incest scene.
Okay.
Like, what was the point
of all this sex on camera? Yeah.
And not even just sex, like the most extreme.
Okay. Yes.
Like versions of sexual experimentation
in Thailand, right? Which is like partly known for this exploration.
Exploration, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I had this whole conversation with my brother. I was like, they need to make sense of why we needed to hear that monologue and why we need to see Saxton and Lachlan like
engage.
Otherwise, I feel like we're watching something controversial for controversy's sake.
Yep.
And that is the cheapest form of entertainment. I don't want to see that.
Yep.
And I don't expect that from an HBO show.
I was just going to say, for a show that takes a year to make.
Yeah. Yeah. I need more. I need better than that. So I've been thinking, like, what the fuck is this? What is the point of this? I've been trying to read and understand what people are kind of like dissecting as to, like, because everyone's trying to make sense of it. Why did we watch this? Like, what was the point? So what I've gathered, so in that monologue with Frank, he talks about, fucking all these women and women and ladyboys, and then flipping the script and him cross-dressing as an Asian woman and having men fuck him. And, he did that to the point where he reached this like peak of his addiction of sex that he finally turned away from the hedonism and indulgence of it all. And it turned him inward. And he sought out Buddhism and journeying inward and finding his own peace. I think with Rick, we're kind of watching something similar. And I feel like the monologue with Frank was almost like a little foreshadowing. So with Rick, we see all season long, he's like obsessed with killing or exacting revenge in some way of Jim. He becomes so obsessed with it. And subconsciously, I don't think he's aware of this, but I think subconsciously, like Frank, where Frank said he wanted to flip the script and he then be fucked. Subconsciously, Rick, also wants this whole scenario flipped on him because he knows if he kills Jim, the most powerful man in Thailand or whatever, it will only result in him subsequently being killed himself.
Oh,
and essentially put him out of his misery through death and finding peace in death. Because he's kind of chasing this revenge to no end. And you're going after somebody hugely powerful. It's going to lead to your death of some sort, And so I think Frank's monologue was a little bit of foreshadowing and just this like examination of these endless cycles of like suffering and misery and self-abuse that inevitably at some point ends in peace, but that peace is either death or that peace is religion or that peace is, seeking some type of God or bliss of some sort.
Okay.
And maybe that's what that monologue was about.
Yeah, I really love that monologue for the sake of women hearing it.
Okay.
I think a lot of, from what I saw online, especially, a lot of trans people were like, this is exactly how a lot of them feel. They're jealous.
Okay.
A lot of men are jealous of women. And their position and their positioning that they can have with sex, especially sex workers. Workers. The power of sex workers is very much underestimated. And I think Frank's monologue encapsulates that power. Right? Like, these people were so powerful, they sent him to a Buddhist monk camp for 5 months and had him celibate out here. Like, he's like, and he's sober and not even drinking. Like, you know what I mean? That's the power that these women have. So I thought that was nice to hear on screen. We don't really hear that a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. When you say power, you mean like the he has power over these women in the sense that he's like paying them for sex, but they actually hold the power because they are kind of the key to him getting the ultimate pleasure, which for him in the height of his sex addiction is sex.
Yep.
Okay.
And he becomes jealous of the fact that they hold so much power over him.
And he wants to experience it for himself, hence him kind of flipping things. Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I took it at face value. You took it all the way there. But
so I'm trying to relate it back to like Rick in some way.
Oh,
Rick's friend.
Yeah,
he flips it and then he dives into Buddhism. Now Rick is like in a very similar way obsessed with something dark, right? Obsessed. For Frank, it was sex. For him, it's killing this guy. And he chases after it so much that like the only inevitable outcome is it's going to flip on him. which is for him to be killed, which is probably what he wants subconsciously anyways, because he's been living in turmoil with this, you know, relationship with this man who killed his dad and blah, 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 blah. So let us know what y'all think. I don't know. That was a real reach. I'm trying. Hope you guys followed along if that made any sense whatsoever.
What's going on that winding road with your friend? But Mike loves foreshadowing, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of foreshadowing, and especially in the season finale. A lot of bad things happen in threes. If something bad happens to me, it happens to you. Like there's, you know, there's a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah. Okay, I heard a little rumor about season 4.
What?
The location.
Oh.
So I was listening to the Watch podcast.
Okay.
I don't know where they got this from, but they're critics, and I feel like they have insider information sometimes. Season 4 allegedly might be filmed in New Orleans. Yeah, girl.
You fucking lying.
I need to figure out the source where they found this, but they said it on their podcast. So I was like, wait, what? They must have heard this from somewhere.
So we're going to get death, witches, dead slaves.
Yes. Black people.
Belinda's going to go. Maybe she's going to own it. Maybe she's going to own it. She's going to open it. She's going to open the White Lotus.
Maybe New Orleans. Oh.
You're welcome, Mike.
Cool. That would be cool. So yeah, that's a little birdie. That's all I heard. Well, I don't know. They could totally be making that up.
Yeah,
they said it.
It's not.
They said it on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not exactly like a luxury spot. The same way the past 3 have been like very luxury,
very high luxury. Yeah,
it's not the same. But there's so many stories to tell in New Orleans. I will never be sick of telling the story of New Orleans ever.
Ever. I would love to see White Lotus New Orleans. Oh my goodness. So we'll see. Anything else, friend?
No, I think we beat this to death, girl.
I think we got it. Yeah,
we got it.
Sound off in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on White Lotus season 3, guys. And we have a very exciting announcement coming tomorrow.
Yes.
So look out for what's coming next on the pod. All right. See you guys then.
Bye.
Bye.